welcome back to the lunch break. I thought I would hit a shot of caffeine before we tackle this one because it goes down rough. It starts out really well, Mark chapter 14, verse 12, Thursday, Passion Week of Jesus' life. And, well, by the end of the day, things have taken a might turn for the worse. I don't know if you've ever woken up with that. This is going to be a great day feeling, and before dinner, you figured, well, I don't even know why I woke up anyway. I might just like to start this day all over. And, well, that is Passion Week Thursday. It starts out rather romantic with communion in an upper room with his boys. And Jesus does the typical communion message. You know, this is my body, eat it. This is my blood, therefore drink it. It is a new covenant. And, well, everybody's very excited about the sermon illustration that he's giving in this upper room, and everyone's, well, rather romantically involved with Jesus now, religiously anyway, because their agenda is about to be fulfilled, because their agenda is he's going to take over the world and we will rule and reign with him, and I'll probably be the one sitting by his right hand. Well, that's what they're all thinking anyway, and things are going to take a turn for the worse because Thursday is probably the busiest day of Passion Week as far as a roller coaster of emotions. Because in the middle of the communion, we're finally told that Judas Iscariot is going to betray him. As Jesus said, whoever dips his hand in this juice and, well, drinks and eats this, well, that's the one that will betray me. And that was Judas Iscariot, although nobody knew that. They couldn't figure that out because, truthfully, they all dipped in the bread and the wine, and so pretty much they're all guilty. But Judas gets up and goes out to betray Jesus, and then Jesus has a conversation with one of his right-hand fellows, which is, you're going to deny me 3 times before the rooster crows. And Peter's like, no, I won't. I won't deny you, and I'm with you to the end. And yet that relationship tanks as well, because if you know the story, well, Peter denies him 3 times at the crowing of the rooster, and then it gets even darker because after Peter pretty much expresses his loyalty along with the other 10 who are in the room, that none of us will ever leave you. You can count on us humans. That's something Jesus needs to know. And God needs to know it too, that God can count on us humans. If anybody could be counting on a human, it's God. God can count on us. And that's what they want Jesus to know, is that you, Jesus, although you're the King of the Jews and you're in charge, we want you to know you can count on me. What an awesome feeling to feel like that Jesus is counting on us. Well, that's what they all said, is you can count on me. We will never deny you. And so Jesus takes them to a prayer service, because usually in prayer, your greatest weakness, again, is exposed in a prayer life. And so Jesus takes the fellas out and says, hey, guys, sit here while I go pray a minute. And Jesus goes to pray and pretty much ask his Father, if this is possible, that this thing doesn't keep tanking the way it's tanking now. We started out pretty good, and by now, Jesus is realizing this thing is going downhill quickly. I've already had somebody go betray me, and I've already had all my disciples swear their allegiance and loyalty that I can count on them, which makes Jesus probably not too certain to count on them, because he's in the garden basically sweating drops of blood in anxiety about what's ahead. So obviously Jesus doesn't feel too secure to trust humans. Otherwise he wouldn't be very anxious during his prayer session. He would be very happy that he had 11 other people in intercession with him. But just to show you how reliable we are to be counted on, they don't even pray with him, they just sleep. So already Jesus is pretty much assuming that, well, we humans rarely tell the truth anyway, and that's probably the theme of the whole chapter, is you can't count on a human being, which is weird because Jesus is a human as well, which is really strange that he's both God and human, but you can't trust a human. But this human is different because he's God, and maybe we could trust him. Well, in the middle of the prayer service, in walks Judas Iscariot into the garden, followed by a bunch of, well, soldiers and priests, and they, well, he betrays him with a kiss. If you don't know the story, he kisses him, and says, hey, the guy I kiss is the one you need to arrest. And so they arrest Jesus. And, well, again, because Jesus can trust us, that's what we want you to know, is that God can trust you. We all leave him. And so by the time the evening comes, we've already lied several times. We're in the game with you. You can count on us. We're loyal to the end. OPS, but we won't pray with you because we're really tired. And when they arrest you, we're checking out. So, but count on us. It's humans. So they now have Jesus arrested, and this is where it gets really interesting because they start trumping up the charges against him. In other words, they're lying. You're guilty. They start shouting he's guilty. Let's just kill him because he's guilty. But none of the accusations are true anyway, which is rather strange that they trump up a bunch of charges, but Jesus does nothing. He just sits there. But looking on is Peter, who has promised, I will never deny you. And he's watching it all go down. And again, as I said before, you can always count on a crisis to reveal your greatest weakness. And well, we're not even into the deep evening yet, and we already realize humans are very weak when it comes to being relied on by God. But trying to determine what is the real theme of the day, because there's a lot going on, from communion to denial to prayer services to singing hymns to giving a thumb up to God that he can count on me, I landed on verse 71 as the theme of the whole chapter and the theme of the day of what's really going on. If you read verse 71 in Mark chapter 14, it goes like this. Peter, right before he denies Jesus, will say, I don't know him. And then they come back again and say, hey, you're the Galilean guy that's been with him, right? And Peter again will deny him. But he says this, and I like the way he says it. He says, hey, a curse be on me if I'm lying, comma, I don't know the man. And in that one statement is the theme of the whole week. This week we call Passion Week, and I believe even the resurrection, what's coming ahead, is summed up in verse 71 of Mark 14. Actually, it is the gospel message from Genesis unto the resurrection summed up in one sentence. If you ever wanted to know what sentence would best define the gospel of Jesus Christ, it would be this verse, and I'll say it again for you. Peter says, a curse be on me if I'm lying. I don't know the man. And in that phrase lies the gospel. First, the curse. Jesus Christ will be the one that will break the curse, and every man is cursed from Genesis 3, verse 15, all the way to the present day reality of Peter. Everybody's cursed. But Peter, because he's so religious and can be counted on, remember he reminded Jesus of that, pronounces the curse upon himself. He says of himself, if I'm lying, I will be cursed. Well, we know he is lying because he does know Jesus. But he says, no, I'll be cursed if I'm lying. So that brings out the second thing. The moment he says, if I'm lying, he ties in the work of Lucifer, Satan himself, because John 8 will say that Satan is the father of lies. So now we're back into Genesis chapter 3, the curse that came because of the father, Satan, that lied to humanity and is the father and murderer of all lies. So in that one word, lie, we see the father is in the equation, Satan himself, the father, Satan, the father of all lies, the murderer from the beginning, is now in the equation as well. So there's something very dark going on. There's the curse going on from the beginning of time, and then there's still the work of Satan going on because the father of lies is in the middle of this thing trying to take Jesus. But then it ends with this, I assure you I don't know the man. And that is probably one of the most profound statements to me in the New Testament because of this. Peter, in a moment of weakness, will not give Jesus the divinity and the place of honor as the divine Son of God that he needs. He lumps him into the category of a mere man. And so therefore in one verse, the curse, the lie, the father of Satan working, and Jesus is not divine. He's nothing more than a mere man. And that is the problem with all humanity. We live under a curse. We're lying if we think that we're not under the curse and Jesus is more than a mere man, because the resurrection will eliminate all of this. The resurrection will eliminate the curse. The resurrection will destroy the power of the father of all lies, which is Satan. And, best thing of all, the resurrection proves the divinity of Christ. Hey, that's my thought for Thursday, Passion Week of Jesus. I can't wait to share with you the final day tomorrow as we move into the crucifixion of Jesus to celebrate the resurrection. I love you. As always, I'm praying for you. I pray you have a great day. I pray that God move on your heart and God touch you. And I challenge you to think about what Jesus Christ has done for you. He's taken the curse. He broke the power of the devil over you. And he's more than just a man. He's the Son of God. I love you and I bless you. Have a great day.